Maybe, ma'am, I think we can start with the session. We have started the recording.
Thanks. Sure. Good evening, all present. I, Dr. Pallavi, NSS Program Officer, along with Dr. Purnima Bhandari, NSS Program Officer, welcome you all. Purnima ma'am, please mute your mic.
Sure.
We at Meherchand Mahajan DAV College for Women, Chandigarh, cherish the ideology of NSS that makes stronger the meaningful involvement of students as well as functionaries of the college towards social, cultural, economic, and environmental issues. As NSS program officers of the college, we endeavor to inculcate the spirit of service towards the nation and inspire the values of harmony among the participants. It gives us immense pleasure to apprise that in addition to various regular and special NSS activities, the NSS units of our college have been constantly contributing and working on new sustainable initiatives such as Poshan Ahar, Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan for the betterment of the society. Even during the lockdown conditions, our volunteers have been constantly engaged in contributing to the social cause and inspiring people with their positive outlook while practicing the fundamentals of social distancing. We convey our heartfelt gratitude to our worthy principal, Madam Dr. Nisha Bhargav, under whose able guidance we can work towards realizing the objectives of the NSS. Today, on the eve of World Menstrual Hygiene Day, NSS units of Meherchand Mahajan DAV College for Women, Chandigarh, are organizing an interactive session on menstrual hygiene and preventive women health. The speaker of the day is Dr. Divya Avasthi. We welcome you, ma'am. Dr. Divya Avasthi has joined Fortis Hospital, Mohali in October 2017. She has rich experience. She did her MBBS and MS from STEAM Institute of Medical Sciences, BHU, in 2003 and 2008 respectively. After that, she did her senior residency in AIIMS, New Delhi. Thereafter, she joined Max Hospital, Mohali in 2011. Dr. Divya has worked in Tata Cancer Hospital, Mumbai in 2013, which helped in improving her skills as a cancer surgeon. During the year 2014, she was invited for a course in assisted reproductive technology in USA. Dr. Divya also has a keen interest in managing challenging cases of high-risk pregnancy and infertility. Her approach towards the patient is very holistic, which includes not just understanding the disease of the patient, but also the feelings and emotional state of the patient and her family. Without taking much time, may I now request you, ma'am, to share your thoughts with us. Dr. Divya.
Thank you very much, Pallavi madam.
Welcome, ma'am.
I really appreciate your effort of arranging the talk on this topic, which is so less talked about, the menstrual hygiene. And today is the World Menstrual Hygiene Day. So my topic is the same, menstrual hygiene and preventive health in women. I will take this opportunity
Is she audible?
Actually, this technical glitch at her end. Maybe some internet problem.
Dr. Divya, you are not audible to us.
Uh, there's a technical glitch. Kindly wait for a few minutes, I think.
Wait for 5 minutes, class.
Olivia Meena ma'am has joined.
Okay.
She has joined.
आपको ये शेयर करना है? आप करो share.
Meena ma'am, now you can present your PPT now.
Yeah.
और window. एक मिनट. कौन सी थी आपकी?
PPT में?
वही पे थर्ड में.
ये
ये वाली. हम भी शेयर कर सकते हैं. कैसे आपको आगे
बड़ा
बढ़ा?
कर दो.
इनको पूछ लो दिख रहा है क्या?
Are you able to see the presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Just put it in the presentation mode, ma'am. Just share in the presentation mode. F5.
Is it visible to you all?
When it is visible, please press F5 for full screen mode.
It's coming full screen here.
Okay.
Ma'am, it's not visible to us. I mean, in a full screen mode, but yes, you can present. It's okay, ma'am. We are able to see.
Yes, just a second.
Sure,
I'm trying.
दिख रहा है कुछ उनको?
That's okay, ma'am. You can present as it is.
Okay. So I'm sorry, because of some power connection failure, all this happened. So without wasting any more time, let me start with my presentation on menstrual hygiene. So why to discuss about menstrual hygiene? Women and girls in reproductive age group will menstruate for 2 to 7 days every month. In most parts of world, it remains a taboo and is rarely talked about. In absence of awareness, poor hygiene can cause genital infections and infertility or chronic vaginal discharge later on. Menses, it's a taboo topic, unclean or embarrassing? Not at all. It is the most natural process of the body of a woman. So it is as natural as getting pregnant. And what is menstruation? Menstrual cycle is a sequence of events that occurs in a woman's body as it prepares itself for the possibility of pregnancy. Here in this diagram, as you can see, I have shown a picture. There is a uterus.
Excuse me, ma'am. Your slides are not running. Your slides are not running. We can see only first slide where your name is written. But as you are saying that in this diagram, but slides are not running. Can you please?
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
let me.
Yes, ma'am. Now it is visible to us.
Now it is visible. So when I'm doing it full screen, it's not visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's not visible at that moment. You just need to click at the present slide and it is going to come.
So now you can see what is menstruation, this slide?
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
Okay. So menstrual cycle. So as you can see in this diagram, this is the uterus. These are two ovaries which produce eggs, which are the egg being released in each month alternatively by different ovaries. These are the two tubes, fallopian tubes, which capture the egg. The egg goes inside the fallopian tube, and if the lady had intercourse in that cycle and sperm is available in the genital tract, it fertilizes the egg. And this fertilized egg then comes again inside the uterine cavity and gets attached to the uterine lining, which is called as implantation. So this happens if there has been an act of intercourse during the fertile period. So if the fertilization doesn't happen, then the egg gets dissolved and gets atretic. And in that case, the uterine lining starts shedding off at the end of the menstrual cycle. And the menstrual flow occurs because of the shedding of uterine lining in absence of pregnancy. So every month, this menstrual flow happens in preparation for pregnancy, which is reproduction, which is the main aim of all the species. So female reproductive function, menses starts at menarche, which is called as first periods, which usually occurs between the age of 11 to 14 years in all the girls. Cycles are sometimes irregular in initial 1 to 2 years, but later on the body adjusts itself, the hormones, and it gets regularized. The normal cycle length being 21 to 35 days, and the flow average flow occurs for 2 to 7 days. Menstruation continues till they reach menopause, which is the final cessation of periods. So the whole reproductive age group, they have these periods every month, and after menstruation it stops. And the menstruation age in Indian women is between 45 to 55 years. Now, what are the taboos around menstruation? There are many myths, they circulate in our society, which are absolutely false. Like, menstrual flow is seen as dirty, polluting, and shameful. It is not at all dirty. It is the part of the uterine lining, which is a uterus, which is a part of human female body. So many places women are not allowed to enter the kitchen or temples, wear flowers, or touch other females or males. Women who are into activities such as singing, tailoring, or any kind of artwork, they do not touch their tools for these days period. And they do so because they are taught to follow these norms from childhood. On the last day of periods, women take ritual bath and then considered clean and resumes their normal routine. It is also believed that menstrual fluids may be misused for black magic. So women should wash the wrapper or cloth wore during menses only at night when others were asleep. So menstruating girls are also not allowed to bathe and wash hair, as it is believed to impede blood flow. By educating both men and women, and I repeat, both men and women regarding menstruation, we can overcome these false beliefs and taboos. Because every girl lives in a family, and that family has men and women both. So the awareness should be in the whole family, including men and women. Now, moving on to the menstrual flow, what are the things which can be used? What are the options available? So how to capture the blood during the menstrual flow time? Their options are sanitary pads, clothes, tampons, menstrual cups. So I will talk in detail one by one about each products. First of all, sanitary pads. They are the most easily available and they are most easy to use. They are made of absorbent material. They are applied externally under the undergarment. They come in various sizes for different kinds of flows. Some have heavy flow, some have light flow. So they have different varieties. They are easy to use and dispose. So it is for the girls who have just started having periods, it's easy for them to use because technically they are very easy. There is no risk of toxic shock syndrome. They can be worn overnight also if the flow is not very heavy. They should ideally be changed every 6 to 8 hours during daytime. They may need to be changed every 3 to 4 hours if the flow is heavy. Now, the other option is clothes. From the old times in India and in many parts of the world, women have been using clothes during menstrual flow. The sanitary pads and the other options have come recently. So it's a reusable option. It should ideally be cotton based. It's an alternative to disposable sanitary pads. It is less expensive. It's also commercially available. There is no waste pollution as there is no plastic used in these products. The cloth menstrual pads need to be washed with soap, properly sun dried and cared for. It is very important. They should be stored and saved at a clean place to be reused in next cycle. They should not be shared with anyone.
and should be disposed of after multiple use. Now, next, tampons. Tampons are for single use. These are cylindrical pads that fit inside the vagina. They come in different absorbencies to accommodate light to heavy periods. They are convenient and discreet if used by the person who is habitual in their usage. But they need special care and education in how to apply. So the young girls who have just started having periods and they are not very comfortable with their use because they are to be inserted into the vagina. So they should be trained properly through video education. So how to use tampons. Otherwise, they should restrict to sanitary pads. Swimming can be done in them. The biggest risk in with tampons is of toxic shock syndrome, because the blood which is absorbed by these tampons, if it remains at the same place in vagina for a long time, it is a very good culture media for bacterial growth. And this bacteria, which causes toxic shock syndrome, it grows very rapidly, and it spreads to whole body in a very short time. So they should be very carefully used. High absorbency tampons should not be used, as they have more risk of toxic shock syndrome because they carry more of blood. So how to reduce the risk of toxic shock syndrome? Use the lowest absorbency tampon. Change the tampon frequently. Alternate between tampons and pads when the flow is light. Avoid wearing a single tampon all night. So even during night, it should be changed frequently. So that's the disadvantage with tampons. The other cons of tampon use, they can sometimes irritate and dry out vagina because they remain inside the vagina, making it itchy and uncomfortable. Inserting them can be uncomfortable, especially when trying a new one. Now, the other option which is gaining popularity nowadays very much in young girls is menstrual cups. They are made of silicone. They can be durable for around 10 years. Yes, they can be reused again and again for around 10 years also. They are less expensive in long run because they are reusable. Although their initial cost is high, they can be worn for up to 12 hours at a time, depending on the menstrual flow. They come in variety of colors, sizes, and styles. They can be worn during the act of sex also, and you can swim in them. So here's the diagram. You can see they are available in many sizes. The large one, those who have given birth, their vagina is roomy, so they have large size. And the girls or the women who are sexually active and had babies with cesarean section, the medium size. And there is extra small for the young girls who have not been sexually, who have not carried any pregnancy. So what are the disadvantages of menstrual cup? It is for internal application, like it is to be inserted in the vagina. Things can get messy because you have to use your fingers to fish it out of your vagina and then dump the menstrual blood collected in them and rinse it properly with soap and water and reuse again. If your periods are heavy, the cup may leak and there can be trouble in proper fitting. It depends, it varies from person to person. Some cups contain latex, so if anybody is having latex allergy, they cannot use it. They should be careful. Now, what are the potential risks? So these were the products which can be used. It depends on the person to person, whatever they find comfortable to choose. So, but every product has some advantages and disadvantages, which I told you. So it should be chosen very carefully according to the needs, because the women who work outside and have to carry the products and change them in the workstation. So cloth pads are very difficult to dispose of because you have to dispose them off and again carry them for cleaning in a separate plastic container or plastic bag. Sanitary pads in such cases are easy to use. Menstrual cups, again, you have to remove it, clean it, rinse it with water and apply again. So everybody has to choose it depending on their individual needs. So the potential risks to health of poor menstrual hygiene. What can be the risks? Unclean or sanitary pads or materials. The bacteria may cause local infections or travel up the vagina and enter the uterine cavity to the tubes, ovaries inside the abdomen, causing pelvic inflammation, which is a serious illness with many sequelae later on, like infertility or later on chances of ectopic pregnancies, ovarian cysts, hydrosalpinx like swelling in the tube, and they can damage the lining of the uterine cavity also. So these are the long-term sequelae of not treating vaginal infections and not taking care of the hygiene. So changing pads infrequently. Wet pads can cause skin irritation and can become a source of fungal infection. Insertion of unclean material into vagina, like which are to be inserted in the vagina, like tampons or menstrual cups, if they are not properly cleaned, it can again act as a source of infection to uterus and cervix. Using tampons carries a high risk of toxic shock syndrome if somebody is not careful. Wiping of genital area from back to front makes the introduction of bacteria from the anus into the vagina and urinary tract infection more likely. So every time whenever you're cleaning the local genital area, the wiping should be from front to back. Unprotected sex during menstruation, it carries increased risk of sexually transmitted infections because during this time the immunity of the lady is a little low and the vaginal pH is changed because of menstrual blood, and hence the risk of infections increases. Frequent douching, cleaning vagina with liquids should not be done. Hand hygiene is very important. Poor hand hygiene, again, it causes the high risk of infections. Now, menstrual waste disposal. If you are using a cloth, it should be put into a plastic bag until you can wash it with hot water and soap and then dry it, sunshine, or iron it and store it. The sanitary waste should be wrapped. The pads and tampons should be wrapped using self-wrapping straps or keep the sanitary waste in leak-proof pouches provided by the producers or companies and dispose the same along with dry waste, or keep the waste in separate bin provided at the time of door-to-door collection by local agencies. In case there is no separate bin provided by the authorized waste picker, the wrapped or pouched sanitary waste should be placed in a dry waste bin for collection by authorized waste picker. In case producers does not provide wrapper or pouch, the used sanitary waste should be wrapped in old newspaper and placed in dry waste bin for collection by the authorized waste picker later on. To manage menstruation hygienically, it is essential that women and girls have access to water and sanitation. They need somewhere private to change sanitary clothes or pads. Clean water for washing hands should be available. Facilities for safely disposing of used materials or a place to dry them if reusable. There is also need for both men and women to have a greater awareness of menstrual hygiene. Thank you. I hope the material which I have provided or the matter I have talked about have helped you in some way. If you have any queries, you can ask me.
Sure, ma'am. Dear participants, this session is open for discussion. Kindly raise your hands so that we can have your query. Anji, you can unmute yourself, dear, for your query.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, I want to know that using of clean and dry and we wash is safe for us or not?
It is safe. It is safe, but see, these washes are just some they come with fragrances and some they say that it maintains the pH of the local area. It is for external usage only. It should not be applied inside the vagina. It's for external usage, and the usage should be restricted to a week or 10 days. It should not be regularly used throughout months or many days. It's not for regular use.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, during menstrual we can use it or not?
No, during menstruation, it is better that you just clean with the plain water and avoid soap also, just plain water, and just keep it dry and apply the sanitary pad or whichever method you use.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, we have one relevant question. One of our participants would like to know that what all things can be done before starting of the cycle so as to avoid menstrual cramps.
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
Sure, ma'am. She's asking that what all things can be done before the starting of the cycle so as to avoid menstrual cramps.
Menstrual cramps, we call in medical terminology, we call it as dysmenorrhea. So usually in young girls it is more, and it is called as a spasmodic dysmenorrhea. See, if you talk about home remedies, they are just things that you can do hot water fermentation, like hot water bottle, and take rest. Otherwise, drink a lot of water. Otherwise, there is no specific thing. If somebody is having dysmenorrhea, it is there, and with age, sometimes it gets relieved. If it is very inconvenient and the pain is very high in severity, then you can take painkillers also. But otherwise, sometimes many young girls have this dysmenorrhea, which we just have to wait and watch for the menstrual cycle to end.
Okay. Yes, Palak, you can ask your question.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, actually, I do exercise daily, and my gym trainer like asked me to drink black coffee. So
Mhm.
I'm drinking that. So I want to ask that does black coffee drinking regularly affects our periods?
I don't think so. If we are drinking in a balanced way, like not much dosage of caffeine should go inside your
Like,
body.
uh,
Otherwise, it doesn't. Hmm.
yeah, ma'am, I drink actually before doing exercise in the morning daily.
Just one cup a day, na?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that is okay. It doesn't affect the menstrual cycle.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Then there's another question by one of the
Yes.
participants. Uh, if someone is having a white yeast infection,
Mm-hmm.
what should you do in such cases? Yeah, what are the reasons why we are having too much whitish discharge, and how to elevate this problem?
See, vaginal discharge, it's very important to differentiate whether it is normal or abnormal discharge. Some people have a lot of vaginal secretions, cervical secretions, they come out as vaginal discharge, but that is a normal discharge. Abnormal discharge is a discharge which is associated with itching, fever, pain in genital area or pain in lower abdomen, foul smell. If such things are associated with the discharge, then it is infective discharge or abnormal discharge. In those cases, having abnormal discharge, you have to go to a gynecologist to get it examined and treatment as per the type of infection. If it is a normal discharge, see, this is physiological discharge. So normal discharge is because of secretions. You cannot do much about that. Sometimes we give probiotics and just maintaining hygiene. Sometimes it can be allergic also. So changing the material of your undergarments sometimes helps. But if it is a physiological discharge, then nothing is to be done. If it is abnormal discharge, then it is to be treated according to the examination findings. So
One
if
of
it is
the
a curdy white discharge, cheesy discharge, it usually indicates fungal infection, and it should be treated with antifungal medicines.
sure, ma'am. Krishna, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you, Purnima ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask that if a 15-year-old girl, is it safe to give Meftal if they have cramps? Meftal
10
spas.
year old,
15.
15 year. Yes, 15 year Meftal spas can be given.
Okay, and ma'am, if she's skipping by, why 1 month or so at times, is it okay? Like
Yes,
it's
yes, skipping is okay.
and can they exercise while periods? Like even for myself, Is it
Yes,
okay?
they can exercise. See, it depends. Many females, they don't have much symptoms or problems during menstrual flow. Some, they have a lot of pain and heaviness, and flow is heavy. So it depends, varies from person to person. According to their convenience, they can continue doing exercise, their routine works, going to work and schools and all, colleges. So it depends person to person.
Okay, like these yoga teachers, they said it is not advisable. So I just wanted to
Right.
clarify. It is
See,
okay.
it depends. It depends ki how much flow you are having, how much problems do you have. Otherwise, even during menstrual flow, you can have exercises. It should not be very heavy or strenuous exercise like jumping and skipping and
Mhm.
weightlifting and all. Otherwise, routine, normal, light exercises can be continued.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Ma'am, if a normal girl normally skips her period, even if she's not a pregnant, is there something to
Mhm.
worry? Yes, it's a normal thing. She
See,
skips
it
her period.
depends on the age of the girl. How old is she, and how frequently she is facing such kind of problems, skipping of periods. Sometimes once in a while, like once in a year, if she skips for 1 month, that is okay, and she again comes to normal regular periods, then it is fine. If it happens frequently, then we need to evaluate why it is happening. Sometimes there are thyroid problems that can cause delay in periods. Sometimes nowadays polycystic ovarian disease, it's a problem which is causing delayed periods. So if it is occurring frequently, then it should be evaluated by the expert.
Not like these days, lots and lots of promotion have been given to some vaginal washing. And one of the participants would like to know that it is safe that we use vaginal wash during the period time or in a normal life also.
I just answered this question. Yes, it can be used, but it should not be used on a regular basis. For 1 week or 10 days, you can use it. And during menstrual flow time, it's better to clean it with water. And there's no need to use the external washes during that time.
Okay. Ma'am, is the prolonged use of medicines like Spasmopers tablets, is it safe for girls?
Which medicine?
Spasmopers. I think it's related to some pain.
Antispasmodics?
I think so. The participant has written like
See,
Spasmopers.
long-term use of any medication is not good. But for dysmenorrhea, we give it for 2 to 3 days, or maybe 1 or 2 days only when the pain is severe. Otherwise, for regular use, if somebody is taking antispasmodics or painkillers for a long time, it should not be. It can cause problem. But
Okay.
if it is to be taken for 1 or 2 days only in each cycle, then it is okay.
Okay. Is there any side effect of like you were saying PCOD
Mhm.
on this menstrual cycle? I mean, some drastic.
PCOD is basically a hormonal problem. There is disturbance in the female hormones. So because the balance is disturbed, it causes symptoms like disturbed cycles, irregular cycles, or sometimes some girls, they start developing acne, facial acne, or facial hair growth increases in such cases. So there are different symptoms of PCOD, but the basic problem is there is hormonal disturbance. Some girls experience weight gain. So yes, PCOD can cause disturbed cycles, irregular cycles. The basic problem is we have to balance the inner hormones by increased physical activity and balanced diet, maintaining the good lifestyle. So in spite of that, if somebody is not having relief in the symptoms, then sometimes we have to give hormones externally to help in balancing the internal hormones
Okay.
and regularizing the cycles.
Okay. Ma'am, in your presentation, you have mentioned menstrual cups, and many of our participants would like to know that how one can switch to this menstrual cup from sanitary pads to this one. I mean, one of the participants is saying that she has a menstrual cup, but it is very difficult for her to use it. Um,
That is the problem with menstrual cup. It is very difficult to use because it is to be inserted inside the vagina. So it depends according to the age, how old the girl is, whether she's married, whether she's having children, whether she had normal deliveries or cesarean. So the usage depends on many factors. The problem with menstrual cup is it has to be inserted inside the vagina, and it should be fitted properly. And you have to remove it again and again after maybe 6 hours or 7 hours. So you have to remove the cup and dispose of the menstrual blood, and again clean it and again apply it. So it is a bit difficult. So those who become habitual and they have good experience in using menstrual cups, it is easy. Otherwise, if somebody is very enthusiastic to use menstrual cups, sometimes they are having so much difficulty, they can visit the nearby gynecologist. They can help in how do you apply it.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, is there any suggestion from your end that what sort of foods we can have, especially during the menstrual cycle? Like some of our participants are saying that before the menstrual cycle starts, we feel like having chocolates. Some say we need to take more amount of protein, less amount of carb. Is that true, ma'am?
See, the diet modification, I mean, what should be there in the diet, carbohydrates, proteins, it doesn't vary according to the menstrual cycle. Whatever you are eating, it is okay. It should be balanced diet throughout the your I mean daily routine. It doesn't vary according to you whether you are having periods or not. So dietary factors, they doesn't change according to your menstrual cycle.
And
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, can I add one thing?
sure,
Yeah.
go on, Palak.
Ma'am, actually, answer, ma'am, like carbs, as you said that there should be normal diet should be followed. Like, ma'am, because there are some people who belong to Himachal and all, and every day they eat rice and like potatoes, like things which are added to the diet. So, ma'am, during periods, so I think that thing, it brings a very heavy to our diet. So, ma'am, we should have it or not? Because generally it is said that it should be avoided, like carbs should be avoided.
Carbs, it should be a balanced diet, that like the diet should have carbohydrates also, proteins also, and fat also.
Okay.
I don't understand what you want to ask.
Ma'am, I want
If
to
you
ask.
avoid your carbohydrates totally during that time, it is not recommended.
Yeah, that was I was saying. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Okay, ma'am, these days there's a mentioning of organic biodegradable pads in markets. So one of the participants is asking that it is really a good thing to switch over from the normal pads to these biodegradable pads. It's just a way of marketing their product.
No, it's not. It's like, see, the sanitary pads, which see, so many girls are using sanitary pads, and they are disposing it off. It is made of plastic, so it is causing waste pollution, you can say. Biodegradable pads, organic biodegradable pads, if are used, they are easily composted. So the waste disposal pollution is less with those pads. So that is the thing. It is a good thing if you can use those kind of pads. And
Ma'am, we
also this thing, the pads which they normally come, the plastic base, the material being used in them is like, if you keep them for a longer time, it causes some kind of reactions also. So if biodegradable organic pads are used, they are obviously better than the normal sanitary pads, but they are costlier.
okay. Another question is, ma'am, that one of our participants would like to know that she experiences breast pain and heaviness 2-3 days before her period start. Is it a normal thing, or
Yes, it is
this?
normal. It is normal.
And
Not
if a girl,
everybody experiences this, but somebody have such kind of experience. That is okay. That is because of hormonal changes.
okay, and if a girl is having her menstruation twice a month,
Mhm.
then it is a problem or a normal thing?
No, it's not normal having cycles flow 2 times a month, but sometimes it can happen because of stress, or sometimes there is change of place. So again, if it happens repeatedly in each month, then you have to show to your nearby gynecologist. If it has happened just for 1 month and again it regularizes, then it is okay.
Okay. And last question, ma'am. How can we normalize a person who is experiencing heavy flu? I mean, is there any way through which heavy flu could be normalized?
See, so first of all, you need to know what is heavy flow, which is abnormal. Normally, many girls they have sometimes in 7 days flow with initial 2 to 3 days the flow is heavy, and then again it starts becoming lesser as the day passes on. So if somebody is having heavy flow, the flow more than for 7 days, and the flow is heavy even on 4th day, 5th day, 6th, 7th day, that is abnormal. And then again, we have to correlate with the hemoglobin level of the lady, whether it's significantly heavy flow. Or sometimes every girl is different, every woman is different. Somebody is having flow for 5 days, somebody has for 7 days, somebody has for just for 3 days. So if your normal pattern is for 7 days, and is if there is change in that pattern, like you are having flow for now for 8 to 10 days, and or you are having 7 days flow, but the number of pad usage has increased, then you need to consult the doctor. First, you need to identify whether there is it's really heavy or it's just your perception.
Ma'am, what to do if one is we generally experience back pain during our menstrual cycle? So how can we deal with it?
Slight back pain is normal. It happens during periods. So you can do hot water bottle fermentation or local analgesic use like Voveran gel and all, and take rest.
Okay, ma'am. I think no more question is there. So Pallavi, ma'am, can I propose a vote of thanks?
Ma'am?
So,
Yes, ma'am. If someone is having any query, then can ask.
ma'am, I don't think so. Okay, ma'am. Then, on the behalf of NSS units of the college, I take the privilege to propose a vote of thanks. First of all, I extend a hearty gratitude to our resource person of the evening, Dr. Divya Avasti, for sparing her valuable time from her busy schedule for interacting with our volunteers. We were actually able to have deep insight about the problems and the taboos related to menstruation and how it is being seen in different parts of the world, including India. Ma'am, we hope that this session must have busted the myths regarding the menstruation and have created awareness among our audience. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sparing your valuable time with us and for patiently listening and solving our queries. Special thanks to Ms. Neena Bhatta for helping us in organizing such wonderful sessions. We also thank our worthy principal, Dr. Nisha Bhargava, for her unflinching support and guidance at every step that stimulate us to do our best. Heartfelt gratitude to our colleagues for having spared their valuable time for attending this uh, interactive session. Last but not the least, sincere thanks to my student participants for their patience listening and being interactive. Thank you so much. Thank you for making this event wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity.
Thank you, Meena ma'am. Thank you, Divya ma'am. Thank you.
And
Thank you
we
too.
look forward for more such interactive sessions from your end also, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Tomorrow we would again be there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We will be. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Girls,
Thank you.
please fill that feedback form also before leaving. Please fill
Okay,
that
we will.
feedback form.